Math does work, Jason. The math does work.
Do I just not know math?
You don't know math, Jason. And I'm going to explain to you math in this episode.
I literally just typed in table.com. Okay, hold on. That's not cool.
I'm going to explain math to you.
Tottenham, 60 points. They
Just
can
wait.
get... Okay, I'll wait.
There's going to be math in this episode. Okay?
Dude... I've got to start paying attention to when you record.
What's up, guys and gals out there? Welcome to the episode of the Red, White, and Blues podcast, where I catch Jason off guard every week with our cold opening, and he has no clue that I'm recording. And then he just all of a sudden hears the intro music playing, and he's confused. But if you listen to that intro, yes, we will do math in this episode. But first, I need to introduce you to my partner in crime, my man Brochacho Nacho, the man that is in a yellow prison right now. Jason, how you doing, man?
It's not only like confusion, I feel shame. Like I feel like there's an inside joke on the podcast and I'm not a part of it. And there's like just two of us.
Me.
Yeah.
It's a joke between me
You're
and
just the
myself.
inside joke of yourself.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. Taco. We've just spent an hour like reminiscing of things, so
We did.
It's been pretty good.
We did.
And so yeah, I'm in a fun mood. I mean,
Yeah.
who wouldn't be after the week we've had?
Yeah.
So that's good. And yeah, I can't wait to math.
Yeah, we're gonna math in a little bit, but first let's so here's a dealio, people out there in the world. If you want a different we're gonna give you this in podcast form, but if you also want to go check out our YouTube page, we have another video with our like sort of instant reactions from the West Ham match. We talk more along the lines of like we do a lot of comparisons between Nico and Havertz in that episode. So if you want to go check that out, it's only on our YouTube channel. Please go check that out. Give it a thumbs up and a like. So it's short too. It's only like 20 minutes, so it's not long. So but we're gonna get into kudos to us because we are long-winded fellows.
I keep waiting for it's not doing.
I'm waiting for the thumb. It's not doing it. Whatever.
There it is.
Hey, there it goes.
F that. Never does it when you want it to.
Yep. So anyway, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about this, but first I do have something I need to say, Jason. Very serious topic of conversation. I did not warn you about this topic of conversation before the podcast because I wanted you to react in real time to this because it's a very serious matter that I need to bring to your attention. It's Cole Palmer's birthday today. Happy birthday,
Whoa!
Cole Palmer!
Happy birthday! How do I do the things?
Hey! Hey!
Hey! Where are the balloons at? There we go.
Hey!
Cole! Happy birthday! How
Cole
old is he?
Palmer?
17?
22.
Oh, okay. Same difference.
Yeah, same difference. Yes. 5 years.
Yeah.
Whatever.
5 years.
Whatever. But yeah, happy birthday, Cole Palmer. So I can't believe I remember to do that because I thought about it last night when I saw it was his birthday. I was like, I gotta do something at the beginning of the episode, and then I literally just remembered. But yeah, happy birthday, Cole Palmer. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about this West Ham match. We got a couple other topics of the conversation. Like I'm gonna teach Jason how to do math tonight on the podcast, which is weird because
I'm
Jason's
still
voice-
mathing it right now. I don't know what kind of math you got going on.
We got math.
I'm literally
man.
mathing it right now.
So, West Ham 5-0 defeat.
Yeah.
We beat them. We owed them one from earlier in the season, where we probably should have won, or at least whatever. But West Ham is not in great form right now, and we made them pay. Pochettino, I guess at this point in time, is coaching for his job. Apparently, that's what's come out now at post match. So yeah. But what was your overall thoughts on the match? I mean, I don't know. What was your thoughts on the match, Jason?
I think we need to really say, and I've heard some other people say this, West Ham were not good
They're
in that
terrible.
match at all.
Yeah.
That being said, what's really nice, and I watched another 442 video today. That guy just is really good at breaking down tactics, and which is something I overly appreciate because I'm not. But he's talking about why Tottenham have lost these last 4 games,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to bring it back around. But like when he was talking about Tottenham, he's talking about how they set up. They like to build these triangles on the wings while everyone pushes up the pitch, and in doing so, if they get one guy past like their defender, or if they get one guy that makes a good run through the lines or slips past, whatever, all these little things can happen because they got all these people in positions, and they've created confusion in the back lines of the opponent. All that anyway, whatever. Which is great, and it's nice, and it has worked out really well for Tottenham. And but these last 4 games, what has happened is we, like us, Newcastle, Pool, who else did they lose to? Whoever else they lost to, Arsenal.
Yeah.
We all played compact, so we had like a very narrow like formation, and just left the wingers alone. And so what Tottenham did was they had like a ton of possession in all these last games. Like they had the majority of the possession. And they just kicked the ball around. They horseshoed the ball around to each other and then tried through balls and all these. And I'm watching some of the footage, man, and God, that was us the entire season.
Yeah.
Like we just didn't have like we just got shut down. We were very easy to find out. We just didn't have the ways forward. And now granted, I mean, I think West Ham afforded us a lot of the possession, and normally what we would do is we would horseshoe it.
Yep.
And man, we did that for like, I can't remember when it was in the game, but we literally did that. I think we were already up though. We were already up
we were
4-0 or something.
This was in the second half.
Yeah.
We were up 4-0. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the second half, boring.
Yep.
AF.
Very
The young
boring.
kids still say that these days. Anyway.
I don't know.
Boring. The most boring football you've ever seen in the second half. But West Ham literally, like, it's not even like they were sitting back, man. It's just like both teams were just content with 4-0. But we didn't start doing that until we were 4 up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of one of those things where West Ham just really were not up for this game. Like they weren't pressing. They weren't trying to counter. I mean, it was literally like a 5-minute spell that we just had the ball. We just horseshoed around.
Yeah.
But like kudos to the guy. Like our guys went for it. In West Ham, after the first 1, maybe 2 goals, was just gone. Like the whole match, and didn't even come out and try the second half.
I mean,
So.
didn't they hit the crossbar in the second half, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. Like, and to be fair, we started showing them a lot of respect. That, I mean, when you're 4-0 up, that's what you do. So like that's a really good point. Like that's part of our inconsistency is like we just don't, we get a little cocky, I think. But they did have some chances in the first half. Like
They did.
The Petrovic, if you look at the stats, had a really great game. But the crossbar still had one more save than Petrovic did. So they hit the crossbar 3 times. Like if I was a West Ham fan, like it is kind of no wonder they kind of shut down. They're just like every time they get a good chance. And they had some other good chances where they just skied it. But it never felt like, even in those moments, like it always felt like we were still kind of in control. But
yeah,
I would just say they weren't as up for it as they could have been, and there were large portions of the game where they checked out, and we took our chances and got like a lot of second balls and some fortunate bounces, and then just pounced on those and took the chances. So I would say like all power to the boys. Like that's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Probably their best game they played all year. So I don't know. It was the first half was fun. It was great.
Yeah.
First half was entertaining as hell. Second half, like you said, was boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, if y'all want to watch 2 hours of something, you can also go to our YouTube channel. Jason and me live streamed the entire match. So if you want to go see our real time reactions, we were both very quiet because we had sleepy people in our house. But might not be our true reactions, but just know on the inside we were going crazy. But yeah, it was just not. I mean, we talked about it in the live streams. Like, this is so boring.
Yeah,
it was just kicking it around the back. Didn't really do.
It gives
a lot.
you some appreciation for commentators because man, do they just have to have stuff to come up with when the game is just dull. And yeah, there were times when I was just eating chips watching the game.
Yeah,
we were just both just watching the game. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing to talk about really.
There wasn't, but I mean, it was a good game. I think, I mean, defensively, I think we still have holes there because they still have chances, like you said.
Yeah.
Defensively,
Yeah,
we're still not there yet. I think we're finally starting to click on things. Offensively, like attacking wise, I think we're finally starting to click. We were getting more balls into the box. And I mean, it really does go down to the inverted fullback and the fact that Casado is no longer isolated in the midfield. So a lot of that. Gallagher had a good game. Madueke had a good game. Palmer had a good game. I mean, everybody had a good game. Chalaba had an amazing pass from the back line.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were just so many, like, highlights. I mean, this is literally one of the first games that there's really no negative to talk about.
Nope.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even fault the players for what I was saying they were doing. They were just horseshoeing it. But, like, they're just trying to see out a game. They were just started trying to see out the game in the 45th minute or the 46th minute. So, I mean, it's like...
That's what you do at that point. I have no problem horseshoeing the ball whenever we're up 3-4-0. You know, I have no problem. I have a problem when it's 0-0 and we're horseshoeing the ball around the damn like we did earlier in the year.
Well, and it's like it's the little things that we got to find to like. I mean, like this game is like you said is full of like big things, but like in terms of finding improvement, like there's a point at the end of the game where we took a short corner instead of just like sling it into the box to try to get a thing, which this would have been the game that you would try to do that in because West Ham were just not up for countering that much during the game, or at least during the second half, they weren't that much up for countering. But like at the very end of the game, we took a short corner and we were going towards the thing before the ref blew the whistle. And it's like, I don't know. Do you look at that as like, oh, okay, our guys like have a sign of maturity? I mean, I know we're 5-0 up. And maybe I'm reading way too much into that sort of thing. But, like, there were times in the season we were not doing that. So,
yeah. I think they're maturing.
Maybe I'm reading too much.
They're gelling. They're maturing. I guess Nkuku got some playing time. Didn't look great, but, I mean, that's to be expected. That's, like, his third match since Ed Sheeran tried to break his freaking end his career. Thanks, Ed. But,
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, Ed Sheeran's fault, man. But
what'd you call Zuma during the game? Cat kicker.
The cat kicker. The cat kicker. Yeah. That is one cell that I'm glad that worked out to our advantage. The old cat kicker there is not very good at defending anymore.
Well, I mean, he got left out to dry a lot during the game, and he's been battling a lot of injury. So, I mean,
and he kicks cats, Jason, and it's karma. So
I mean, maybe he should save his leg and stop kicking his cat.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I can really think of, and it's not really a negative, it's just sort of like, okay, is that Mudryk was just sort of not there the whole match. Like, I mean... Yeah,
more in the first half than the second half, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he did absolutely nothing. Like, I mean, we were clearly playing through the right side and through Madueke, and Palmer tends to drift to the right more than to the left. So, I mean, I get it from a tactical standpoint, but he literally didn't do anything. He did have a shot on goal. Did have that. So
I'm looking at his stats.
I don't know. His heat map was not impressive. I will say that much.
I mean, he stays on the left. He wasn't getting in. I mean, especially in the second half, like he was nowhere to be found. Like we didn't even view the left as an option to move forward.
It's just one of those things. Like, I mean, if you again, I'm going to plug our YouTube channel. We have a whole episode dedicated to does Chelsea have a Mudryk problem, and the problem with Mudryk at Chelsea. And Jason, we break it down for you, so you can go listen to that on our YouTube channel too. But it's sort of sad at this point because, like, I like Mudryk as a person, but he just doesn't show up in matches. So what's the point of playing him? Like, so I don't know.
Put Sterling over there.
I mean, like we've said before, he gets lucky every now and then. So that's the difference between him and Mudryk. He gets lucky. I don't know. I mean, I'm all for putting Nkunku in the middle and putting Jackson out on the left, even for an option, because Jackson's really good at playing out wide too. But I don't know.
I mean, he did nothing. Yeah,
he did.
There's nothing.
It was
nothing to talk about.
Good match.
Yeah. Kudos to Nico. Was on a hat trick for a little bit of the game.
Yeah, for a good portion of it. Good portion of the second half.
2 shots and an assist.
Yep, he finished his chance with 1-on-1 with the keeper this time. Mm-hmm. This match wasn't offsides, even though VAR tried to say it was offsides. So I think he continues to improve. So if you want a whole Nico breakdown, go listen to our other post-match review. It's on our YouTube channel because we break down Nico in there a lot. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good match.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I've loved the last 2 matches, so I think I even said I was impressed at the end.
I mean, that's what 2 clean sheets in a row.
Yeah.
It's
not bad.
7 goals. No, I mean, the crazy thing is we've scored 7 and not conceded in the last 2, and the women's team scored 8 in their last match. So,
yeah.
Like, okay, sure, whatever. The women's team always showing the men's team up. Whatever reason.
They're like second in the Super League with like a game in hand or something?
I don't know what it is. I think technically there might be a game in hand. Man City might have a game in hand, but I know if they win the game in hand, I think they'll be tied. And that's why it was so important that we scored 8 goals and didn't concede, because we're trying to make up the goal differential, I believe is the issue. Because Emma Hayes specifically said...
correct.
Yeah, because Emma Hayes specifically said in her post-match speech that it's not effing over. So...
how many more games?
She said that on a hot mic in the... because she was giving her farewell speech.
Damn.
Because it was her last match, her last home match, I think. And so she was giving a farewell speech, and she literally said that on the mic.
Yeah, so we have a 46 goal differential, and they have a 45. So, yeah, I mean, she's right. It's not effing over.
It's not effing over. Who can score more goals? Who can score more goals? So,
yeah.
But, I don't know. It's, I don't know. So do you want to anything else you want to add about the match, Jason? Nothing else really add about the match.
I'm gonna always wear the colors of the other team though now. No, I'm just kidding. In the off season, I'm gonna get some true Chelsea gear, and I'm gonna Tommy Tuchel it up in this bitch.
We can have you can order all your stuff. It's gonna take like a month for it to come in. Just FYI. Yes. And then whenever you get it in, you can open it for us and show us everything that you got on the podcast.
Oh, an unboxing video.
An unboxing video. Oh, then we can put that in the title, and maybe that'll get us more views.
Yes.
Like that. Like the way you think, Jason.
We've got to adapt to the no views.
That's right.
I don't know.
Keep grinding. Means. Keep grinding, man. That's all we can do.
I could show them my piggy bank.
It has money in it too, guys.
British money.
And Canadian money.
I guess UK money, technically.
Yeah. So, that wraps up the match. So, are you ready to math now, Jason? Are we ready?
I'm ready.
To math?
I'm ready to math.
So, I have a theory that Chelsea is going to sneak into Europe, and here's how it's going to happen. Okay.
Wait, you mean Europe or
no? Europa. No, we're going to sneak into Europa, and here's how we're going to get into Europa.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is Tottenham will finish 5th because I don't see us catching them, even though they're capitulating right now. I don't think they lose their next 3 matches. Whatever. I don't think that happens.
Whoa, no, they play
or 2.
They play City.
So they're going to lose 1, but we would still be 3 points off of them, right? Because aren't we on 54 right now?
Wait, that's weird. Do they have 4 games left? No, they have 3.
Some teams have 2, some teams have 3.
Well, they just have like they're playing Newcastle on May the 22nd for some. I guess it's a friendly.
Yeah, that's a friendly. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they have Burnley, City, and Sheffield are their last 3 games.
Because they're on 35. Like Villa, Liverpool, and Arsenal have 2 matches left out of the big 3, out of the big the top, and then everybody else has like 3 matches left. So, anyway, so what's going to happen is the top 4 will remain the same: Arsenal, City, Pool, Villa, some form of that, whatever. Tottenham will finish 5th, I believe, because I just don't think we catch them. Even though I think they lose 1 more, we'd still be 3 points behind them. I don't know. I just don't think we catch them. I don't think they capitulate that much. Newcastle, all they have to do is drop 1. That's it. They just have to lose once out of their last 3. I know the only decent team they play left is United, I believe.
Yeah, and dude, I don't even
United
say they're decent
right
after
now.
today.
Right. So there is an outside shot. I don't think we catch them on goal differential, which is the bad thing, because if they drew 1, then we could technically catch them that way. But I think we can pass Newcastle. I think Newcastle drops 1 last match. We win out. So we get 9 points. They drop 1. So technically we ended 6th. Now here's what's going to happen with the math, Jason. City will beat United in the FA Cup final, which will then make the 6th spot go to Europa League, because City is in the Champions League, and that's the automatic bid from the FA Cup. So the 5th and 6th place teams go to Europa. So
for some reason, I thought that like it was kind of over for the Europa League for 6th.
No, not with not if City beat United in the FA Cup final, because whoever wins the FA Cup final gets an automatic bid to Europa League.
Right.
So if City wins it, then it goes to the 6th place. The 5th and the 6th place teams make it.
Yeah.
So that's how we're going to mathematically get to Europa League next year, Jason.
Dude, I hope you're right. And if we only have to get into 6th, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Who do Man U play for the rest of the season? Oh, okay. They're going to lose to Arsenal. They're going to beat Newcastle.
Yep.
And then they're going to do whatever in the hell they want to do with Brighton.
Yeah. We just need them to beat... We need United to beat Newcastle is what we need to happen.
So these next 3 games are...
pretty important.
Make or break for Poch. The problem well, you know what I mean. But like the problem with it is it's not quite in our own hands. Like it is, but it isn't. And that usually bothers me.
Yeah, because you're right. Even if we went out, we still aren't guaranteed to get in. You're correct.
But yeah, because City has to beat United.
Right. And then Newcastle has to lose.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. City is probably going to destroy United because they don't have the Champions League to play for. United has no defenders. Literally none. So Pep will probably carve them live, which is what we want. So
I mean, even better for us is if, well, I guess with the tie, Newcastle are in the driver's seat here.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's going to be interesting.
It is.
I'm excited. These next couple weeks are going to determine a lot. I hope that it works out. I would love to be in Europa League.
I would too. I mean, and that's the thing. I guess we talk about that. But I guess if Man City does beat, I'll say this before I go on the next point. If City beats United in the FA Cup final and we win out, we are at least guaranteed Conference League at that point.
Yes.
Because we would be 7.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
we guarantee Conference League at that point. Because there's no way United's catching us on goal differential now after their
Yeah.
shellacking they took today. Um,
Um,
but anyway, oh, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, I just have a question for you, but you finish up and I'll ask it.
Oh, I was gonna go. So, what's your question? Because my question is about Poch and the statement that came out from the board.
Let's talk about Potch first.
Okay, so remember your question. Don't forget
Yes.
it, Jason.
Yeah.
So the whole thing that came out this week about he has to make Europa League. Like what we had heard up until this point was if Poch makes they wanted Poch to make Europe. Now it's he's got to make Europa League to save his job, which is almost like they're moving the goalpost and almost like I mean, because let's be realistic, us make Europa League. I mean, I haven't looked at the percentages, but I would imagine it's pretty low statistically speaking for us to make for us to go on a that would be a 5-match win streak is asking a lot for Chelsea just in normal senses without any pressure. And then I don't know, us winning 3 in a row, which would end up being 5 in a row, and then having to have Newcastle lose and City win, that's asking a lot.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I almost feel like they're setting up to fire Poch now, which is just baffling considering what he's done here at the end of the year. I don't know, man. It is just nuts.
Yeah, I agree with you. They have somebody in mind, and they're moving the goalpost because they don't think Poch can get. I'm not happy about that.
I'm not either.
Gab Marcotti on ESPN, and this is where I'm getting my question from because somebody asked them this, and I thought their answers were interesting. But this was a different segment. But Gab Marcotti was saying, no, this is the actual segment. I watched 2 different ones. One with oh shoot, who's the guy we like? The French guy.
Frank Leboeuf.
Yeah, Frank Leboeuf. Yeah. Anyway, I got him confused. But Gab, when he was talking, this will lead into my question at some point. He was just saying that Poch like isn't really the problem with the club, and we talked about this with the Mudryk problem episode. Go check it out, everybody. But
nice plug.
But we talked about that as well. Like Poch isn't like the true problem.
Yeah.
But like, is he the solution?
Yes.
You know? And I think that's like a fair and nuanced view of it. It's like, I don't envy the position Poch came in with this club. I don't envy the crop of players that he had to come into with this club. What's crazy is that if you would have asked me after the Arsenal game, like if we had an identity, I would have said no. And Poch has stumbled into a thing. I think somebody said that like on another thing. It might have been football therapy. He was like, Poch has stumbled into this thing, and he says it kind of casually, but like there's a lot in that. Like Poch has stumbled into a successful formula at the moment, and we do look like a team like singularly focused.
But okay, here's my question to you about that though. But that's what we did in the preseason.
Right, yeah.
So it's not that he stumbled. Like that's my thing. It's like he didn't stumble into this. My whole question, all this, like he didn't stumble into this formation. He didn't stumble into this. Like Alex Goldberg was retweeting tweets the other day from himself talking from the preseason, talking about how the inverted left backs and stuff like that, and how he was enjoying how Poch was using it, and that was from the preseason. This was a formula that he used in the preseason. He stopped and then he used it again. So it's not like he stumbled into this. I don't know what you want to call it. Like I don't know what you want to say. I just don't think he stumbled into it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I just thought it was an interesting way that he said it. Like, and he wasn't saying that. I'm putting emphasis on it. So we'll say that about football therapy. I do think though, he tried the inverted left back when we had a way different team and didn't have as many injuries. And I think I'm not making excuses for Poch here. I'm saying people will make this excuse for Poch here. He also did have a lot of injuries, so I will make that excuse. So I'll make the excuse and not make the excuse because Kukurea goes down for a little while, Chilwell goes down for like our entire back line is a little bit different than we thought it was going to be throughout the season. That has been one of the things we've talked about Poch is he's been stubborn in he Graham Pottered some of this, right? Like he plays people out of position. He's trying these things. He doesn't sub when he makes really stupid subs. His formations are weird. His tactics don't seem to come through. Like, yeah. So I totally get the point that in preseason he had a different, pretty much a different team, and then was trying the inverted left back, and then I think he didn't have that for a while, or he didn't think he did, and now he's trying it again, and it worked against Tottenham, and I don't know, and I am hesitant because West Ham sucked. West Ham truly sucked.
But Tottenham didn't score on us.
Tottenham
scored two on Liverpool, who
right
on paper has a lot better defense than we. Now, granted,
yes,
and Tottenham didn't have a lot of chances against us. I think West Ham had better chances than Tottenham did. And they hit the crossbar.
Yeah,
but it's just weird. But it's like you said.
But for whatever reason, he wanted to stop using the inverted left back and has now brought it back. And I would say that's equally like good, but then equally frustrating that he did have a semblance of that at some point and is now just starting back to use it.
Yeah. And I think it frustrates me. That's a good way to put it. I think that's the way it does with me personally, because like I look at it, I don't think the injury thing's an excuse because, and the reason I say that is because who did he have playing left back when Kukurea and Chilwell were out? Colwell would have made a hell of an inverted left back because he can pass. Like he can defend. Colwell would have been great as an inverted left back. So I don't get. Maybe he just didn't feel. I guess maybe in his eyes he didn't feel comfortable. Colwell playing an inverted left back. I mean, I don't know.
And that's one of the things, right? We would want to give deference to the manager. Right. Like in that situation, just go, hey, they saw something that we can't see in training.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is we don't trust the manager.
That valid point. We don't. And I mean, the thing is because of this whole thing. It's like, and I mean, that's the thing is like, I don't know why reporters, like, it's their job. Like, after a couple of matches in the regular season, we're not running the same formation we are in the preseason. Why are they not asking Poch, hey, why aren't we doing this? Like, what's the reason? Oh, right. Well, you have Colwell. Can he not play inverted left back? Could he not do that for your squad? Like, these are logical, simple questions that reporters should have been asking. Now, granted, I will say this, I didn't think about it at the time. Like, it never really crossed my mind to think about it in those terms. But that's also not my job. I'm just a lowly podcaster with a few subscribers, So, like, I don't get paid to do this shit. I do it for fun.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just weird that I don't know the whole like the injury thing. I don't buy the injury thing. I think we've been. I don't know.
I think the injury thing has been a real problem, but I think that's more of a black mark on our medical team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it is.
Why have we had so many injuries and so many persistent injuries over the course of the season? Like we've had a lot of injuries. Like it's pissed me off how many injuries we've had.
Well, I blame our medical department to an extent, but if you do look at other teams, like you look at United right now, they have massive injuries. Liverpool has gone through massive injuries. Tottenham has gone through massive injuries. And we've talked about on this podcast before, I really honestly believe that they are overplaying players. These guys, because it started with having the freaking World Cup in the winter because the scam bid to Qatar. That's a whole nother issue, but that's what started this. And these players simply have not had a break. And the European players aren't getting one this freaking summer, and neither are the CONCACAF players. They're
Right.
going straight into 2 more tournaments. So all your South American players and all of your freaking European players that are in the Euros aren't getting rest this summer.
Yeah.
So
And Reece
it's just
James is rushing his rehabilitation
Right.
to go to Europe.
right, and it's one of those things like, and I think it's an overplaying of players, and like then they're on like multiple competitions. Then you FIFA keeps adding crap like the Club World Cup, and then they just keep adding tournaments and all this stuff and more games on top of more games on top of more games, and then they're making them play because it's more games. You're not getting as long of rest in between matches, and so it's like, well, no, duh, there's more injuries now because of you're over whatever working your players.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that plays almost want to give our medical staff an excuse because of that. I don't think I think they're bad because of the reports of whose trainer was that, Chalaba's trainer, that came out and said stuff.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
it's been evident that like we've had a couple people in the men's and they get hurt like in practice again before they ever really get back fit. So I feel like, okay, there is something
Play with
there.
a hernia.
Yeah, the Enzo, but again, we talked about Enzo. I think Enzo is just that kind of guy that's going to go out there and play the
He
freaking
just
hernia.
tough guyed it. Yeah.
He just says, "Give me the shot," and goes up. He's, give me the cortisone.
Give me the shot right in my protruding intestine.
Yes, exactly. Like his intestine, like you can see it through his jersey, and Enzo's
Yeah.
just chucking
He
away.
celebrates. And
Yeah.
His intestines fall out and he
Yeah.
scoops them back up. Everybody's telling him he's got to go off. He's waving them.
No, he's just waving around his head. You know,
He's jump roping.
you jump right in with this. Why not?
Gross.
Oh man! But the point is, I think it's a culmination. Like I don't want to excuse our medical staff because I do think there's issues there. Like I definitely there's issues there.
Oh,
But
I
also
straight
think,
up think they're horrible at their jobs.
Yeah, I agree. They're not good.
And I have
there's
no
issues
basis
there.
in fact for that other than all the things we just talked about. Like, they let Enzo jump rope with his intestines.
I mean,
Like,
but
that's
there has
insane.
but there's been reports. Like people have come out and said there's issues with the medical staff. Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Alex has said that there's issues with the medical staff. Chalaba's trainer, I think, is the one that came out and said there's issues with. Like, so people have said that there's issues with it. Like clearly, like again, I don't know how much of it is Reece and how much of it is the trainers,
Mhm.
but why did he not get this surgery months ago at the beginning of the season? And then he would have
Yeah.
been back in plenty of time for the end of the season and the Euros. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think I think though that the overplaying of the players is playing a bigger role in this than a lot of Chelsea fans maybe want to admit because they're so harping on how bad our training staff is, which I do think it is bad, don't get me wrong. I just think it's more of a 60-40 issue than like a 90-10 like most people want to put it on the
Yeah.
the scale.
No, and I can see that. I mean, because we've talked about that before, like you mentioned, about how much players play now. And it might just be a new era where you can't expect to not have, or you got to expect to have double-digit injuries for the entire season.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
mean,
just don't
this
understand the point of buying Lavia if he's just not going to play for an entire year.
who is Lavia, Jason? I don't know. Still don't know who this kid is. Don't believe he's
Yeah.
real. But yeah, I mean, it almost goes to the point of like, maybe you do need 30 people in your first team now because you have
Yep.
so many freaking injuries throughout the year. I mean, like, by the end of this year, we will literally have several people that have missed the majority of the season. Like,
Yeah.
Chilwell will eventually miss the majority of the season. Reece has missed the majority of the season. Fofana hasn't even touched grass yet. Lavia touched grass for 10 minutes, apparently. Don't remember it. And Cuckoo missed the majority of this season. So, like, that's 5 players right
Colwell.
there. Colwell has missed the
He's
back
missed at
half
least
of
half.
the season. Yeah, at least
Yep.
half the season. So, that's 6 players.
Chilwell
Cucurella missed, like,
Yeah.
Chilwell's missed the majority of the season.
Yeah. Oh, did you already
uh,
mention him? Sorry. If you
Yeah. Cucurella missed, like, 2 or 3 months. Silva's been hurt a couple of different times.
Yeah. Lately, like this half of the season.
Badiashile missed half the season.
Sterling's
I mean,
missed the last several months.
Yes, sir. I mean, like, we literally, just off the top of our heads without doing any research, just named like almost 10 players that have missed half the season or more.
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them, which have missed the majority of the season. A couple of them missed the entire season.
But like people that we were building things around have missed.
Right, like Fofana.
Yeah.
So Colwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reese.
And James.
Yeah, Reese,
the whole back line, really.
The whole back line. Yeah, exactly. It's bananas, dude. And I don't know, like the Fofana thing is just the Fofana and the Lavia one are the two that are the craziest to me because like we've heard nothing about Fofana all year hardly. Like it never was like this huge injury. Like he didn't tear an ACL, he didn't tear any ligaments. It's just like a knee injury, and he's been out the entire freaking year.
Yeah.
Like Lavia, we bought him hurt. He came back and played for 10 minutes and got hurt again.
Yeah. Man, I remember when we first bought Fofana, and you were worried about Fofana because of his injury record, and it's only proven true.
Well, we said the whole point of that was like it was an uncertainty because he was coming back from one of the most gruesome leg injuries I've ever seen. There's only one that I can remember that's worse than that I've seen, and it was in the NBA. A guy went up and he just blew his knee out. It was disgusting, and it was awful. Fofana broke bones in his leg. Like it was disgusting. So you just had question marks around it. Like, why are we spending 75 million? I think it's 75 million pounds or something like that on a guy that crazy. We don't even know if he's gonna be like. I rate Fofana, but I don't know if he's gonna. How is he gonna come back from this injury?
Right.
And I don't know, man. It's bananas. It's crazy. So I don't know.
So my question to you is, and this is off the back of all of this.
Okay.
Like, because we just had a discussion of who to blame, how to blame, how much blame, all that. In the midst of all that, do you think, and this was a question that was posed to ESPN,
okay,
do you think we could count this as a successful season? And this is without the math, I guess, at this point. Like if it ended like this,
I mean,
do you think it's successful?
Yes, I think it is. Now, is it as successful as I think fans want it to be? No. But I think you also have to be realistic with your expectations at this point in time and where we are as a club. Is it successful in terms of where we are as a club? Yes. Because it's number one, it's better than last year. We have one of the best young players in the Premier League in Cole Palmer that we signed. We've identified valuable backups in Gusto, DCC, I guess, can be considered a valuable backup. Our midfield is good now. Jackson is proving that he can be counted on up top. So maybe that'll save us 100 million pounds. Probably not, because we'll talk about that in a minute.
No, they're going through with that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, I think it's a success just based on the fact that we've seen players grow. We have more points than we had last year. We're actually while it be a slim chance, we do have a chance to make it into Europa League this year.
Yeah.
And I think we're not finishing 12th again. So, and we're finishing this season on a positive note. Like this season, we actually have something to play for in these last 3 games, Jason. We have something to get excited about in these last 3 matches. Last year was just put the gun to my head and get this damn season over with. Like, it was brutal. Like, last year was just brutal. Like, we were just get this season over. Like, we were so ready for the off season. Like, we were more ready to do transfer news last year. That's how bad we wanted last season to end. We would rather do transfer news than talk about last season. Yeah. And that says a lot.
So, how much credit do you think Poch deserves for this?
This is going to sound weird coming from me because how much I hate Poch. I think he deserves the majority of the credit. And the reason why is because he was handed a bunch of misjudged disjointed parts, and he had no clue how to put them together because this team wasn't built with any logic or any sense of like, okay, well, this player is going to pair good with this player, or any logic or any sense. Like it was just like, hey, here's a bunch of guys, put them together and see what you can do with them,
Yeah.
And they didn't give him experienced players like he asked for. They didn't give him a single player that he wanted. Why am I defending Poch? Golly, this is crazy, Jason. I can't believe you got me doing this.
It's been a weird season though, because like I wasn't like as Poch out or as fast as Poch out as most people.
It was Poch out way before you were.
And then it then got Poch out because my God, there was some boneheaded shit that was happening in those games. That was his fault.
Yes. 100%.
And then now we're 2 games removed from our worst loss in history to Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And things look up.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
And it's all because he changed freaking formations. That's what it is. It's all it has to do with is a simple formation change.
Yeah, yeah. And so we're reacting to what we're seeing. Like, has Poch turned it around? I think it still remains to be seen. We've got 3 games before I'm making a judgment call on anything else. If there was another manager that I liked better than Poch, I'd still go for them.
Yes.
And I'd be okay with how we ended the season, but I'd be happier that we were moving on with a different manager. At the same time, though, we've alluded to, is management the problem? And we kind of concluded that you said it, the way the team was cobbled together.
Yeah.
Is like I say. But anyway, sorry, I'll let you continue to defend Poch.
No, but I mean that's the crazy thing here is, and then like I'm still gonna be Poch out, but I'm still like I'm also one of those people, like I believe that you can not like somebody, but you can respect somebody, and that you can still give them credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Like I loathe every part of LeBron James. I hate LeBron James with a passion. Never liked him. Couldn't stand him. I think he's a freaking prick. Is he good at basketball? Yes. Is he one of the best to ever play the game? The 3rd best. But yes, that's my opinion. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
Yeah.
That's my rankings. But so sue me. But my point is, I hate LeBron, but I can still respect LeBron.
Yeah.
Like he's a great basketball player. I'll give him credit where credit is due. But and that's the same way I feel with Poch. I don't like Poch. Can't stand Poch. I didn't want Poch to begin with. I think at this point I've just convinced myself that we just need to keep Poch, though, because it's going to help with the continuity of things, and there's no better managers out there. But you've got to give him credit because he wasn't given anything. Like, and that's the frustrating part of all of this, is because there's no connection between the board, the directors, and the manager. Like, it's just a whole bunch of disconnect, a whole bunch of 3 separate entities trying to work together to one goal, but they're all separate and not working together. And you're never going to achieve anything like that in an organization. Like, if your CEO has one goal, your product managers have another goal, and then you have your project leads working on something totally different, and just being given direction with, just being given a whole bunch of parts and they don't have a direction, then what do you expect? And that's exactly what's happening at Chelsea. Like, we have no direction as a club.
Yeah.
Because we're just buying random ass players and trying to put them on a pitch because they're young. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, this is interesting. Arteta first season finishes 8th.
Yeah.
Klopp first season finishes 8th. Hello, happy birthday, Cole Palmer. Poch this season might finish around there.
He could finish 8th. There's a chance.
Like relative to those managers, because Klopp's been with Poole 9 years, and he's won like a trophy each of the years.
But
and Arteta's been with
he's
Arsenal.
Won 2 good trophies.
Yeah. But Arteta's been with Arsenal 5 years, and he's won an FA Cup. And I think it's going to be really interesting how people view Arteta if he doesn't win the Premier League this season.
No, they'll give him an excuse.
Yeah, but like still
Because
though,
Pep's
it's like
there.
you'll be like only. I guess is he in his 5th year or is it his 5th year? Yeah, this is his 5th year. This is his 5th year.
Yeah.
So, like, is that to me like if you are Poch and you're comparing yourself to like 5 years in Arteta and you've won an FA Cup, like that to me is where I'm Poch out, because I think that like if Poch came in, like if Poch was the guy and he had a season where he finished 8th or 7th or maybe 6th or whatever, like say we don't get Europa League because it's slightly out of our hands. It's a little bit of a long shot.
It's a long shot.
We could have been in a better position for this. Like I don't want to forget about Burnley, and I don't want to forget about that other draw that we had recently.
That's the defining moment of this season if we don't make Europa or those 2 matches.
I said I don't want to forget about the other draw we had recently, and I can't.
And you forgot.
Villa, right?
No.
Oh, Sheffield.
No, Sheffield. Was it Sheffield?
We had Sheffield on April the 7th.
And then Burnley.
And Burnley was March the 30th, but then we also drew Villa on April 27th.
Yeah, but Villa, I'm okay with drawing because Villa's top 4. I have no problem drawing Villa.
Sure.
I have a problem with the Burnley 10-man Burnley team.
Yeah.
And then Sheffield United on April 7th.
But I'm saying if you get 2 more points, right? Like if you get even like one of those matches, like we're in a way better position.
Yeah.
You get Sheffield and Burnley, we're in way better positions. And those are games that we shouldn't have drawn. Right. So like my point is like, and I think Poch is to blame for some of that on those games.
Yes, 100%. Agree.
And like just because we're a month removed from us not coming out at second half the worst team you've ever seen, like I don't know, like it's easy to be reactionary when we're doing this all season, you know. But I don't like. I still am Poch out for that reason. Like, do I want a manager who has won 1 FA Cup in 5 years, but has put the team in Champions League contention every year? Like, is that enough? Because that's what Mourinho used to go after Wenger about.
Yeah,
is the 4th place trophy? Like, do we want the 4th place trophy every year? I think Poch, to me, is a 4th place trophy manager. He was with Tottenham. He didn't overly succeed or accomplish as much as he should have with PSG at the time.
We did nothing at PSG.
Yeah, I guess they
He won the
default.
league, but that's the freaking farm. I could have won the league with that team.
Right. So he does nothing with PSG, like just because he was able to. I mean, if this season ends with, I guess even let's just say it ends now. Like that was my scenario anyway. If it ends now, right? Poch would have done what he was supposed to do, and he was supposed to like build up a young team, and help them grow and have barbecues. That's literally what we brought him in for, right?
Barbecues.
So, yeah. I hope they built a really big pit at Cobham. but like, do I see Poch like people keep saying Arteta is one of the best managers around, and it's like he's 5 years in, and I don't think he's accomplished enough to be the best around.
No, Pep's still there. Pep is miles ahead.
And so it's like, you can definitively look at Pep and go, they've just built a dynasty of a team right now. No other club can really do that, not even with Klopp. Like, would you consider a manager like Klopp with the success he had? And I think that there is a tangibility to saying, hey, we were competitive most of the years that I was there, and we got into Champions League most of the years I was there, and we won one of them. Like, the Champions League's not easy to win.
It's not. It is not.
So it's like, would we want a Klopp level manager because Pochettino has compared himself to Arteta and
I
been
mean,
like,
that's a better comparison. Like him to
yeah,
Arteta is fine. I don't have an issue with that because they
yeah,
neither one of them have won anything.
right.
I mean,
Now,
Arteta,
I
I guess.
think in the next couple games for Arsenal, like that can change depending on whether or not they win and whether or not they lose. Like, if Arteta wins
Yeah,
the Premier League, this is a different conversation. If he doesn't win the Premier League, this is the conversation we're having,
yeah.
I think. And so, I don't know. I am ready to assess Poch at the end of the season, I think. And if we get Europa, I think we get. It's kind of how I feel about some of the players. Like I think that they've grown a lot in spite of some of the things Poch has done during games.
I would agree with that too.
And I think if we get Europa, it will also kind of be in spite of some things.
It'll
Not
definitely be.
not fully because Poch did the things, but
Yeah,
like some
it'll be because
things at
Cole
the end
Palmer
had to
carried
line
us
up
there.
perfectly for us to get it. Sorry, what did you say?
Cole Palmer would have carried us there.
I
I
mean,
mean, let's not forget that. Like literally,
final day of the transfer season, we signed or transfer window, we signed Cole Palmer.
Yeah, yeah, and I
So
mean, he literally has kept us from being relegated this year. To be completely honest. So, I mean, that's the thing is like, don't. It's like you said, don't. We can't try and revise history and make Poch something that he's not. He is a
yeah,
serial bottler. He has never won anything. He was never a manager who won it, but I do think he's done some good things this year. And I think he could have done a lot better if he just would have stuck with what he did in the preseason. Like I think
yeah,
we'd be in a lot better shape right now. Now, does that change the fact that he sucks at subbing? No. That change the fact that he's not good at in-game management? No,
yeah,
it doesn't. But I think that would set us up to win more matches. Because I mean, it's obvious that we play better.
yeah.
When he sets us up like this. Like
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
weird too, right? Because you've got our attacking players are missing goals in front of. I mean, like we're missing like what should be
Yes,
at least viewably a
goals.
goal. So we're very wasteful, but then at the same time, we have dynamics in the dressing room where we don't have a designated penalty kicker or
Yeah.
taker. We also have been ravaged at the back with injuries with
Yep.
our defense, but at the same time, we don't have a set piece coach.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Like it's just one of the it's like one of those things where it's like I think Potts put us in some positions and we've overcome those positions,
Yep.
and then
I
Potts
agree.
deserves some credit in other areas. Like it's hard to like look at things in isolation, and it's also hard to look at it as a whole because I think different things are affecting different people are affecting different things. And then yes, add transfer strategy, add the way the club has been run overall, add the way Potch had to come in, add the way the team was built, all of that. Like we're just in a weird spot. And I would say relatively to that, like one of the questions on ESPN was, well, how are they successful relative to what, you know?
Yeah.
And I think relative to all the shit that the club has created, like we
It's
were
been a
able to
success.
shovel some of the shit out of our way.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think I don't know, man. Yeah, it's giving me an existential crisis in a way that I won't get into right now.
It is a very weird thing because it's like on one hand, Potch has done a lot of good, but on the other hand, we don't rate Potch and we never have and never will rate Potch. Like he's never won anything. So why should I rate him? Like I
Yeah,
don't get
exactly.
it. So I don't know. I don't but I can see where he's done good. And I also, if we fire him, we owe him money. So I also look at it in that sense. Why not just let him go in the next
Yeah,
year? He's still got a year left on his contract. Let him roll. See if he can cook. See if we can get off to a better start to next season. See if we can start next season like we ended this season, unless we go on a 3-match losing streak, which is entirely possible with this team.
yeah.
But I have seen improvements. And I mean, I don't
hmm
think you can sit here and say that we haven't improved when we have more points.
Well,
Like,
and And if you take just 2024, like the entirety of just this half of the season,
Yeah.
we're in fourth.
Right. Yeah. Since January, we're in fourth. I think if you do it since Christmas, we're in third. Think
Wow.
maybe.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're up. That's the thing. It's like we're up there. So
Yeah. I think you said that a while back. I just wanted to throw it in. Like a while back on a different pod. Like you
Yeah.
brought that stat up. And it's an important stat, I think, because it speaks to what you're saying. We have shown improvement.
But it goes back to those two matches, 10-man Burnley and Sheffield United. Those are the
Yes.
two matches that, like, I think if you want to look, if this season ends up with us not in Europe, you point to those two matches, especially the Burnley match. And like you were saying, if we flip those two matches, or even one of them, one match we're tied with Newcastle, they're still ahead of us technically because of goal differential. If you win both of those matches, you're ahead of Newcastle and you're on the tail of Tottenham.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know.
It's
It's
annoying.
crazy.
It's like really
It is.
annoying.
It is. It is annoying. So I guess to end the podcast, we can talk about the big Oceanman craziness that we're supposedly doing.
Did
That-
we mention this? Did we
No,
mention this last?
No,
Yeah,
we did not,
okay.
because it's a new report that came out that we're going to send Lukaku, which I don't have a problem with. That's fine. Get fat.
Doesn't he
ass
have like
to
a
him.
$40 million buyout or something?
Yeah, 38, 36, something like that.
Okay.
It translates to probably $40 million US dollars.
Oh, I see.
Pound.
Yeah.
Pounds is something else. But plus 75 million pounds in cash or euros, whatever that is, plus Alfie Gilchrist.
What?
Yes.
That's sad.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
That's really.
He is not worth.
Aren't they?
that-
Aren't they all about the pure profit? Like they're trading him.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why? We don't like. People need to stop with the striker shit. Let
Yeah.
Nico lead the line next year. I'm tired of it. And Nico,
I am
trust.
fine with Nico leading the line. I am 1,000% fine. Somebody on ESPN asked is Havertz having a better season or is Nico having a better season? And they were all like, "Oh, Havertz for sure."
They're
And
going to win a team. That's it.
yes, I think so. I mean, and they were like, "Well, Nico Jackson has just missed so many more than Havertz." And I was looking at their stats, and Nico has a better shot accuracy than Havertz does. And
He has missed more big chances, I guess is what they're referring
Yeah.
to.
And he's only taken 13 more shots than Havertz.
Yeah.
So, and Havertz wasn't even playing up top like a lot of for the first part of the season because Arteta was bobbing around, and then I think
look.
he had some injuries, and he put Havertz in, and
I remember this was a month ago. Arsenal fans hated Havertz up top because he kept missing shots.
yeah,
And we were like, see, we told you. We told you exactly what you were getting. We tried to warn you. And now he has a couple games where he scores a goal and everybody's like, Havertz this, Havertz that. And I'm like, okay. And I think the stat I will keep bringing up is that Havertz has been in the Premier League 4 years. Nico has been in the Premier League 1 year.
exactly.
That, to me, is the biggest thing and the takeaway from this. Nico has more goals, one less assist than Havertz. And he's been in here 1 year.
Yeah.
That's all.
Havertz,
I mean, has he missed bigger chances, quote unquote? Yes. But he's younger, and this is his first year in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing. Like that's the eye test that you're saying. Like there with the big chances missed. Nico's missed 22 big chances, and Havertz missed 11.
Yep. So half of what Nico's missed. But I mean, to the point, Havertz has been in the Premier League for 4 years, and this is his output.
Yeah.
Like Nico's matching him, and it's his first year. So you only think he's going to get better, logically speaking. So I don't know.
Okay, I have
a big.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go
No,
ahead.
no,
No,
no.
We're gonna say no. Go ahead.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Would you rather us finish in Europa and Arsenal win the league, or
Oh,
us
God.
not finish in Europa
Nope,
and
I
Arsenal
don't-
lose
nope.
the league?
I would rather Arsenal lose the league. I don't care.
Me too.
We
That's all I
won
wanted to
Europa
say.
before. If we never won Europa before, I would see
Yeah.
like let Arsenal win it. No, I don't. Do I? Now here's the question: though, do you think Arsenal wins the league?
Man,
'Cause
like
City controls
several
their own
games
destiny.
ago, they some pundits were having this conversation. They were like, Arsenal does not lose. We think City trips up.
Yeah,
And City just have a habit, man, of like doing what they need to do when they need to do it, unless they're playing us in the Champions League.
Yep.
And I really like what I love is that City holds their fate in their hands.
they do.
And like if any team's gonna kick Arsenal out of it, I'd rather City be the ones to do that.
Yeah.
And I think what's Arsenal's last big game? United. Oh, shit.
United.
Man, United got waxed today. Holy
4-0.
shit.
Yep. they
My gosh. But yeah, I was City 3 games, but City they've both been
did.
flying.
They don't
man.
play anybody.
It's a toss
That's
up.
the thing with City. City doesn't play anybody, do they?
I don't think they do because Arsenal had to get past Tottenham and they had to get past Man U. Okay, City play Fulham
No.
and
it's a
then
win.
Tottenham and then West Ham.
They'll rip Tottenham open because Tottenham can't defend. Now the question is,
Yeah.
can Tottenham match them? Because City's defense isn't great either.
Yeah.
So, and West Ham, you said West Ham, is that their last match?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Dad, that's gonna be.
I think
If
City.
we beat West Ham 5-0, what is City gonna do to West Ham?
That is what's great about the Premier League, though. You just kind of don't know what's going to happen.
You don't. I think Arsenal is gonna lose one of their last or draw one of their last 2 matches.
Yeah.
It's Arsenal. It's what they do. They bottle crap. So why not?
They have Man U and Everton.
I mean, that's not a derby. No, thinking Liverpool. My bad. Sorry.
No,
Wrong
Everton
Richmond.
are a little squirrely, though.
They are, and they might still. I don't know what they are in the table. They still fight for relegation because they're going to get more points.
They're on 37 points,
They should be all right.
but I think they're fine. There's only
Yeah,
2
they should.
games. Oh, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah. So they're good.
Luton have 26 points with 2 games left. So the only team that is in danger of going down at the moment is Nottingham Forest.
I think they're already been relegated. They've already technically been relegated. I think, and if they got relegated this past weekend,
Who?
Nottingham Forest. I think
They're in
Or
17th right now.
Who's last?
Oh,
Sheffield?
Sheffield.
They
Sheffield's
got relegated last week. They got relegated.
Yeah.
They're done.
It's Sheffield, then Burnley, then Luton, and Burnley has 2 games left on 24 points. Luton has 2 games left on 26 points, and Nottingham Forest have 2 games left on 29. So
Ugh. See,
that's the
Nottingham-
battle. If Nottingham Forest win one of their games, I think they. Let me check their
They're
goal
good.
differential.
They're good.
They got a way better goal differential, so yeah, they're fine. But Nottingham Forest have to win another game.
All right, I think we covered everything. If y'all do want to hear us more talk about Poch some more, there will be a YouTube video that comes out on Wednesday where Jason and me discuss. We had some halftime thoughts about the West Ham when we were playing West Ham that we went, believe it or not, even deeper into the Poch talk. I think that's where we got into a lot of the who's to blame for all of this and everything like that. We went into a lot of detail about that during the halftime of the West Ham match, and that'll be coming out on Wednesday on our YouTube channel. So look out for that on Wednesday. But you got anything else you need to add, Jason?
No, just this one. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. And then I'll say
You
my
want to
thing.
do?
You go.
We got to do
Yeah.
predictions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I want my thing to be the last thing. Let's do predictions.
Okay. Predictions. Who are we playing? Are we playing Sheffield?
I do want to add one other thing though.
Add
Burnley and Nottingham Forest play in the last game of the season.
We play Nottingham Forest this week.
Yes. So
We're gonna we're drawing.
but that last game of the season for Burnley and Nottingham Forest is going to be pretty tasty.
Yeah, that is.
I think we beat Nottingham Forest
2-2 draw.
We're winning out, baby. Let me bring up my thing.
It's away. We're losing.
I believe.
I believe that we will win.
I mean, I think I predicted a draw for the West Ham game.
When the heck did we play Nottingham Forest earlier in the season? We lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest earlier in the season.
We got it this time.
Cho with the brace for Nottingham Forest.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Oh man. But yeah, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea 2-2. I don't know. Our chances of making Europa, we have to win out. I just don't see us making Europa. But, whatever.
Let's see. So you say 2-2, we're drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go 2-1, and that'll make it a little interesting. But we
That we're
have
gonna
not
win?
predicted
We haven't predicted a game right
anything
since, like,
correct
the
in a long time.
I haven't predicted a single game right all year. I know you got a couple right at the beginning of the year. So,
Yeah, I got a couple draws.
yeah. So, anyway. Yep, that's the Nottingham Forest predictions. I don't really... It is what it is at this point. I don't know. We do have something to play for. I do hope we make Europa League next year, barring unless Arsenal wins league based off of that. Don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we got a good shot at it. I mean, we don't have tough opponents left, so
Yeah, they should be winnable.
I mean, Brighton has scored 1 goal in like the last month and a half. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was this past week against Villa. So
That means they'll score 4 on us.
you're correct. They will probably splice us open, Jason.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, Chelsea is due to disappoint me, man. Like, just when I start getting impressed and start believing in them, that's when it's
You know
coming
what?
down the pipe.
No. I'm changing my prediction.
I
I'm
knew
going to
it.
be positive Dan. Positive Dan is coming out. 3-1 win.
Whoa!
Support the boys. 3-1 win for the good guys. We're going to Europa. Up the Europa League. Let's go.
Okay, I have 3 predictions correct, by the way.
I have
So
0.
you've got to go 3 out right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this. I hope you're
We
right.
still have the we'll have a recap episode of our
Well, actually, I hope you lose all of these score predictions because you're going to win on that.
No, I'm not. Do you not remember who I predicted to win the league? It's
Was it United?
to win the league. Yeah. Hey, I do know that
Holy
Villa
crap.
was my surprise team of the year, though.
They were,
I think I did have them finishing 4th. So
Was both of our managers first manager out Potch?
no, I don't think so.
Hey, Moyes is officially out at West Ham though. After yeah.
Shocking, I tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah. What did you have to add,
okay
Jason?
with West Ham.
You were going to add something.
Oh, one of our very first YouTube videos, I got a cramp, and it was pretty
I remember
funny. Dude, so I turn on ESPN FC. I'm watching one of their extra time videos. Stevie G. I'm not saying I'm proud to be like compared to Stevie G at the moment, or not Stevie G. What's his name? His name's Stevie, not G maybe.
It's not Stevie G, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, Stevie, the Stevie guy.
Stevie guy.
Yeah, he is like in the middle of them filming, and he's standing up getting a cramp. I was like, it happens. It happens.
It's a real thing.
He was blaming the chair. And then everybody was like, no, you've been having cramps all day. Maybe you haven't been sitting in that chair all day.
I would just blame my old age. That's what I
Yes. They were blaming his health. I'll blame my health. Anyway, I just thought that was funny.
That is funny because you feel validated now as well. You
I
should.
do. You get a cramp sometimes during these things. I
You
mean,
do.
well, I've been in this chair for like 2.5 hours at this point.
Yes. Yes. So
Daniel as well. We have both been here for 2.5 hours, and this is only an hour and 15-minute pod.
yep, my butt is sweating. So I have a fan
man.
going in here. It was amazing. I don't really care if it messes my sound up tonight or not. You might hear buzzing in the background on the podcast.
I'll
It's
try to
my fan.
fix it, but who knows?
Please don't. It's been going the whole episode. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jason, tell these people where they can find us these days.
Yeah, sorry, I was texting my wife that we're almost done. Look, you can find us on YouTube, X, Substack, and Instagram, baby. I didn't forget it this time.
Yes.
Look, check it out down there at Red White Blues FC on all the things. If you want like some cool written content, go to Substack. If you want some short form content, go to the other three. Daniel does an amazing job of curating those things. One day I will help him. I don't know why he lets me hang out here when Daniel does most of the things here, but he's the driving force of this pod. You're the heart of this pod, Dan.
But you're half of my heart, Jason. You
Oh,
complete me.
you had me at hello. And now we need all of y'all to show us the money, baby, and we're gonna get sued by that movie. But yeah, you don't have to show us any money. We don't charge you. Just come interact with us on at Red White Blues FC on all the platforms.
Yes, we are very coordinated like that.
Oh, and like and subscribe.
Yeah, do all that jazz. Like I said, we do have some. We're trying to put out a little more content. So I know this weekend we're not live streaming. I will be at soccer match. So I will not be. I will be at my daughter's soccer match. Will not be at.
We can live stream that. Live commentary that. You don't want to do that? No. We won't use any names. We'll just be like,
Yeah.
little person kicks ball to little person.
They ain't little anymore, man. These girls, like, look, they're like 13. These
They're
are
like-
big girls out there.
Elbow.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it was a weird suggestion. I was trying to make a joke, and then I tried to save it.
it's fun.
Move on.
It's fun. Oh no. But yeah, we will not live. I think we're going. I know we won't live stream the Bright match because it's in the middle of the week and we have work. But we are going to try and probably live stream unless Jason takes off. Unless you guys get in the comments right now and convince Jason to take off work. If this video
I'll
gets
do it.
100 likes, Jason will quit work. No, not quit.
Don't
He'll
make me take off work. Don't make me do this.
Don't make him do it, guys. Don't make him. Still waiting. Hey, look, guys, we only have 98 more likes to go, and then Jason has to do a live transfer window. So I need y'all to watch that Mudrick video from last week and pump the likes on it.
I think we're gonna
But
do
yeah.
transfers anyway, but still like it.
I actually have an idea about that. I want to run by you.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, y'all check us out there. Podcasting, we do this too. We're on the Spotify and the Apple or the iTunes, whatever you want to call it. We're there. Check us out. Give us a 5-star rating, whatever you want to do. Just let us know you're there. That's all we ask. We know people listen. We just don't know who you are, and we want to know who you are. We want to interact with you guys, so let us know. Yes, if you're podcasting right now, we're throwing up
better.
hearts. So yes, we love
Wow.
you. Hey,
I
Jason
forgot it
shooting
did
hearts.
that actually. Yeah.
But I guess that about wraps it up. So until next time, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
I like a good ham sandwich. I don't know. Flippity floppity.